Hi, I'm Beth. Welcome to the latest video in my lunchtime yoga series. This is a series of short videos, 15 to 20 minutes. They're all standing. They're designed to be done with no equipment, not even a yoga mat. So you can do them in your office or really wherever you are when you need a quick burst of energy, a quick pick-me-up. So today's is going to focus on some joint mobility movements. We're going to move through the whole body and really hopefully get you feeling more mobile, more warm, more ready to continue with your day. I've taken off my shoes. You can if you'd like, or you can keep yours on. It doesn't matter for this practice. Let's find a comfortable standing position. We call this mountain pose in yoga. We're going to start with some mobility around the elbows, but we're also doing this with the purpose of beginning to breathe, maybe even getting our heart rate up just a little bit. Let's reach the arms out in front, and all we're going to do is tap the shoulders and come back forward. So do this at your own pace. You don't have to keep time with me. And maybe you start feeling a little loosening. Maybe you feel some pops and cracks. That's totally normal when we're doing joint work. And then let's take the arms out to the side, same thing. So still reaching away and in. All right, now we're going to start bending the arms and reaching up overhead. And as you do this, as you go up overhead, you might feel a little lift of your shoulders. That's fine. We're gonna get some movement of the shoulders too. You can start letting them rise and fall a little bit here. You can go back faster than me if you'd like. And maybe start to feel your breath. Focus on the in-breath and out-breath through the nose. A few more like this. Your shoulders might start getting a little tired here. That's completely normal. All right, let the arms come down. Next, we're going to move the wrists around a little bit. Certainly, if we're doing a lot of work on computers, our wrists can sometimes get tight. Let's cross the fingers and simply move your wrists around with your hands pressed against each other. So no real right or wrong way to do this. You can take sort of figure eights if that works for you. If that shape doesn't work, maybe circles. And once again, I'm hearing some cracks in my hands. If you've been going one way, go the other way. And then we're going to reach the fingers away from us, the palms away. Ooh, I heard a big crack there. Bring them back in, and then look to see which of your index fingers is crossed on top. Cross your fingers probably the weird way or the opposite way. It might feel a little strange. Do that same movement with your wrists. Might feel a little awkward. We tend to have a dominant side, and we don't realize that we have dominant fingers, dominant parts of our body other than just the hand that we write with. A few times the other way. I didn't realize my wrists were so tight today. And then once again, push out, reach away. We're going to be a little bit more intentional about that motion on our shoulders. So reach toward me and then reach more so that you can start to feel your shoulder blades separating on your back. We call that protraction. And keeping your arms reaching straight out, start to draw your shoulder blades back toward each other, retracting in the sockets. A few times like that, reaching toward me, pulling back. So you see my arms are just moving with the movement of the shoulder. I'm not actually moving my arms or my hands. And we can try that out to the side as well. So reaching, trying to be wider. You might not see as much movement here. And then pulling the shoulder blades behind you. If you'd like to bend the elbows a little bit here, that's fine, but let the movement come from the shoulder blades. So a few times here, reaching out. You can spread your fingers as you do this, get a little more stretch for the hands. Let's do that once more, reaching out. Take a big breath in as you do that. And as you draw in, you can sigh that out. All right, take your arms down. We'll start moving a little bit into the upper body, but we're still going to stretch the mid-body, the torso. Take your feet a little wider apart, a little wider than your hips. You can go wider than this. I'm on a carpet with socks, so I don't want to go too wide. I don't want to slide around, but if you feel stable, feel free to go wider. I'm going to do some lateral reaches side to side. I'll be mirroring you for this. So let's lift up your left hand and start to slide down your right leg. Kind of forming a C curve on the side of your body. And let's go the other way. So we're moving around the pelvis. In fact, this time, let's let the hip kind of kick out to your left as we bend to the right. Let's go the other way. Slide the hip, the pelvic girdle out to your right and then over the left. One more time each side. And last time. Let's keep our wide stance. You might want to come in a little bit closer. And we're going to do a little bit more spinal work, coming to a forward back movement of the spine. For this, let's add just a tiny bit of neck movement by taking our hands behind our heads. And we'll just start with the neck, feeling the neck as you let the chin drop to the chest. And then lifting the chin, lifting it up a little bit to the ceiling. So we're not really pulling with our hands. We're not going too extreme in either direction. We're starting to invite in a little bit more movement of the neck. Next time we come down, we're going to start bringing our elbows a little bit toward each other. It doesn't matter how much. We'll start rounding our upper back. And I'll step side so you can see this. A little bit of a rounding of the upper back, coming into kind of a cat pose, or even you can think of this almost like a hook or a candy cane shape. And breathe up tall, open your elbows wide, retract your shoulder blades, lift your chest a little bit toward the ceiling, a tiny back bend of the upper back. And let's do 2 more times. Rolling forward, rounding your upper body, rounding the shoulders. You can bring the elbows in more if it's comfortable. And then as the breath flows in, drawing the elbows back, the shoulders back, lifting the chest up to the ceiling, gaze goes up, hands support the head. Last time. And breathe in, reach. Let's reach the arms out for this last breath. And then arms come down. I'm going to face back around to front. So hopefully you're still in your wide-legged stance or wide-ish. Again, just a little bit wider than hip width. This time we're going to take a little bit of a turn and a reach. So we'll be turning to your right first. As you turn, you can let your feet slide around to the right. We're going to come up on the ball of the back foot. So of your left foot, the heel is up. We're going to push that leg away and reach away with the same arm. So we're looking for a long stretch all the way from the tips of the fingers, pushing down to the back heel and pushing a little forward right here at the hip flexor. Let's go the other way, sliding the hips around, reach with the arm, push the heel back. Let's do it 1 or 2 more times each side. And that push is important because it allows us to get a stretch in the calf as we reach away, the back of the leg, the hamstring, and that little bit of a push of the hips forward helps to engage and stretch the hip flexor. And last time on the other side, shifting the feet back around, push the heel back and away, push the hip flexor in the opposite direction forward. You might reach a little bit more with your hand. I have the opposite hand on my thigh, so left hand, left thigh, stabilizing a little bit. All right, we'll bring that back to center. So we'll continue to do a little bit of movement for the upper and lower body together. Our feet stay in that wide-ish position, but this time our toes turn out on about a 45-degree angle. That doesn't have to be exact. You want to, when you bend your knees, and you can bend them any amount, a little bit or a lot, you want your knees to travel out basically over your foot, over the center of your toes. All right, let's reach up, Take a breath in, find this big star pose. This can feel really nice and energetic if you've been seated or sitting all day, to just take up this space. And then as we exhale, we're going to bend the arms, bend the knees. This is called either goddess pose or horse stance, depending on what tradition you're coming from. Breathe in, reach back up, that tall, big star, taking up space. You can take this into a little tiny back bend, reaching your arms back a little, retracting your shoulder blades, looking up, back down into our goddess. And we'll do that one more time. Reach up, come down to goddess pose. We'll hold here for a moment. Keep the legs, and yeah, they might be working and yelling at you a little bit. Feel free to come up higher if your legs are really straining, or come out of it completely. Take the hands to the thighs. We're going to do a little hinge forward right from our hip crease. So that's the spot where our leg joint goes into our pelvic girdle. Hands are here for support. And then we're going to dip one shoulder and then the other. So you might feel a little bit of twist here as you do this. So think about as you move to your right, twisting a little bit around your rib cage in addition to dropping your shoulder. And as you move to your left, same thing. Next time we twist right, dip the shoulder, hold there, and start to turn your neck, glance over your top shoulder. Let's come around to the other side, dip your shoulder, turn your neck, any amount over the opposite shoulder. Last time on each side, we won't stay as long. Dip, turn, back through center, dip, turn, back through center. Whew. Press into your feet and stand up. Oh, the legs were probably tired, so that's probably a nice little relief. All right, feet back underneath you. We'll do a little bit of balance work as we do our lower body mobility, because we're going to do one side and then the other side. Now, if your balance feels really unsteady, if you have a wall nearby, just place one hand on the wall. If you have your desk or a chair, that's fine too. A little bit of support is great. We want to practice balance, but I don't want you to fall over in your office. So let's let the weight first come into your left foot. That's going to be your kind of anchor, your trunk, your solid foot on the ground to begin with. Again, hold something if you need to, and you might hold with the same hand as foot on the ground. That's probably easiest. Start to unweight your other foot. We're going to lift it up, and you can use your hand to help here. We're going to swing the foot back and forth so that you're moving in the knee joint. You can revolve a little bit of the foot. We're trying not to, we're actually trying to revolve the tibia, the lower leg muscle, without really moving the foot. It's kind of hard. Little pendulum action. And then take a few ankle rolls in each direction. You might be losing your balance. It's okay. You can see I'm kind of wobbly. Come back down. We're going to stay on this side, so you're still anchored in your left. This time when we lift the knee, we're going to rainbow it up, around, and out to the side. So lift the knee up, around and out to the side, keeping this leg pretty stable, toes forward, and come right back. And we're just going to do that a few times. So the pelvis still is basically going forward, although you're opening up on your right side. And that's our intent, to open up the hip joint there, or really have the, now we're into the femur, be really more mobile, be able to move around that joint. It's a ball and socket joint, so we want to be able to move around in that joint. Next time you come out, stay out. We'll try just a little low tree pose by sliding that foot in, placing the heel over the ankle of the left foot. Let's keep it low here, or if you have your support, hand on your support. Breathe. Balance poses can be very effortful and also very energizing. So see if you maybe feel a little bit of that energy, that kind of a little bit of a burst moving through your body. All right, come back down. We'll repeat that on the second side. We'll start with the knee lift. First, anchor your right leg this time strongly into the ground, and then lift your left knee. Feel free to support it with your hand and support your hand on a table or a chair or the wall. Let's see if we can get that pendulum motion going a little bit. Not easy. And you might be wobbling like me. After doing that a few times, take a few circles with the ankle. Oop, I almost lost it there. That's okay. Every time we almost lose it or touch down, we are still stimulating our balance reflexes to kick in. That's what we want. All right, touch that foot down. Now we're going up and out in our rainbow. So lift the knee up, out to the side. And it really doesn't matter how high you go here. So if your balance feels less steady today, if you want to just kind of drag the toe along the ground, as long as you're staying open, keeping this hip facing forward and opening up in this hip, focusing on the joint, because that's what we're trying to do. I feel my breath kind of getting a little bit more rapid, a little bit, teeny bit of aerobic effect here. All right, next time out, stay out, slide the foot in. We'll try that mini tree pose on this side. I like to call this a grounded tree. So our one foot is our grounded roots. Our other foot, the ball of that foot, is staying on the ground. We can place something under our hands for more support, or you can let the hands be wherever you'd like, taking a moment to find this little bit of instability, but in a way that hopefully you can still find balance. You can find some stability within the instability. All right, then release back to your mountain pose or your strong standing stance. We'll finish up with a little bit of rotation for the neck and a little bit of gentle twisting for the body. I have my feet a little bit wider than my typical mountain, just about a smidge wider than hip width. So we'll take some neck turns first, simply turning your neck from side to side, not trying to force it, but just going wherever it goes. And then as you do this, go up and over, similar to what we did with our knee, but I'm taking a whole half circle here rather than a quarter. And next time I'm going to go down, making more of a smile or a U. I can feel that the back of my neck likes this movement. And finally, once again, back and forth, noticing if those little bit of movements helped you feel any more free. Start to let your hands be away from your body and let your whole body twist from side to side. So as you turn your head and neck, let the torso follow. Your hands are really just kind of moving, your arms are moving as an extension of your torso. So I'm not intentionally swinging my arms, I'm just letting them go here. You might think of the idea of skimming the surface of the water. Now I'm letting my hips sway from side to side. You could do that, or you could keep your hips more stable forward if you want mostly an upper body twist. You might do a little bit of both, see how it feels in your body. I'll do a few more whole body movements. This is where we're going to end our practice. So we're going to start slowing these twists down. Eventually coming back to center. You could bring your feet in if you'd like. Take a moment to draw your attention to how you feel, a little bit of a check-in. Notice, bring your mindful awareness to what this little yoga practice did. If you found that it did something beneficial and you want to try my other lunchtime practices, I have a whole playlist of those. If you want to do some longer yoga, try some of my full yoga practices. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and I'd love it even more if you'd comment and tell me what you'd like or what you want to see from my channel. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.